Hello, today we'll be painting a Tyranid Termagant, and I wanted to do this in the style of Vita Carnis. If you don't know what Vita Carnis is, it's an online analog horror series that features meat-like monsters. So I'm going to be painting this Termagant in a similar style. In Vita Carnis, most monsters are red and very meat-like. Like if you've ever seen raw meat or cooked like a steak, the steak before it's cooked is what they look like. But as they eat more people and animals and stuff and get more food, they get darker. So I wanted to represent that by having elite monsters be more darker, and Tyranids have more muscly parts, and they also have more these chitinous plates on them. And chitin's like a bug-like armor. It exists in real life too, but and I'll make those chitinous plates a little bit darker than the flesh to make them more distinct, and they won't have as much of a meaty texture to make them look more solid and less fleshy. Alright, so I'll get back once I have all my paints in my palette. I'll be using some pretty small brushes for this one, since that's what I prefer to use to paint. I have one main brush and then one spot removal brush in case I get anything in the wrong place. So I'll get back when I'm ready to get started. Real quick before we begin, here's the colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using Matte Black, Vampire Red, Pure Red, Corpse Pale, and Speed Paint Pallid Bone, and Matte White. Okay, I'm going to get back when I have everything ready to paint. And here we go. So first we're going to start off with a base coat of pure red. We don't have to be super precise with this since we're going to go back with the other colors later. This is just basically a base coat. We're going to try and avoid the areas we're going to put other colors on, but it doesn't really matter. Since we can just paint over this. Maybe I should just prime this red. I have my entire Tyranid thing primed white, but I'm fine painting the red on. It gives me a little more precision. Sorry if my camera's a little blurry. This isn't the best setup for making YouTube videos. I just have my camera on top of like a paper towel thing right now, so I wish there was a way to turn off the focus. Comment below if you know a way to turn off the focus on a phone camera. I have a Google Pixel, so if anyone knows how to turn off the focus on one of those, please comment below. I can see what I can do, actually. Yes, sorry, I couldn't figure anything out on the focus range, so it's just going to be a bit weird. I did turn on some camera stabilization, so hopefully that will help a little, but it's going to be a little bad. I'm probably going to edit this down a lot anyway to the best shots, so I'm going to get back to making some more videos, so for those of you who want to watch, definitely be getting that Norn Emissary. Do a color painting thing with that. It's going to be really cool. Oh, if you're wondering why this Tyranid was white already, it's because I primed everything white. I might have said that already. If I did, I'll just edit this out. Definitely gonna have to go over a second coat with some places. Well, that's fine. I wanted to do a second coat anyway. I mean, I'm using Army Painter, so usually doing second coats unless you're using the metallics. I actually really like the Army Painter metallics. They're some of the best metallics I've used, especially their new speed paint metallics. I don't know why, but they do metallics so well. And then the normal paints just are a little bit watery, which is fine since you don't have to fin them. That's the secret I've discovered to Army Painter paints. You just don't fin them at all and they're completely fine. Got a little bit in that recess there. I'll take it out once I get my brush cleaned off. Right, let's zip out that recess. Sorry if you notice my hands shaky a lot. I have very shaky hands. For those of you who have no idea what I'm doing, this is a Tyranid from Warhammer 40,000. Warhammer 40,000 is like a sci-fi universe that has a popular tabletop war game. You just look it up and find out more about it. They recently released 10th edition, so if you want to get into it, now's a great time. They have a really nice $110 starter box, which is really cheap for Warhammer, and it's great because it includes basically 2 combat patrols, although they're each missing 1 unit annoyingly, but it's still a really good option. And a better option still is the 200 something dollar one that's not the Leviathan box that comes with like a rulebook and terrain. Although GW terrain isn't something you should really buy. If you get it in a starter set, you might as well take it. I have a 3D printer, so terrain's really easy for me, but you could easily build some terrain out of cardboard for real easy. And then just slap some paint, and just slap like 1 coat of paint on it, it'll be fine. Or even just print some stuff, or even just print some like pictures off of a printer and just glue paper to them, and you have like yourself a perfect terrain option. Uh-oh. Why is that happening? Oh, I put too much water on my brush, that's why. I'll go over this with a second fin later anyway. It's really hard to get in the middle. Okay. How do I even do that? Let's start down here. Sorry, it's a bit off camera. Maybe I should do this through the camera. Oh, that's not bad actually. But I think I'll keep looking at myself since that makes it a lot easier for me. Anyone else excited for Starfield? That game looks cool. Hopefully it lives up to what they've shown. I do feel some confidence in it because they showed off quite a lot of gameplay footage, which is unusual, like, for games that are going to be bad. Like, just the sheer amount of stuff we've seen makes it seem unlikely that it will be, like, a complete flop, because the footage they have is not, like, just made-up cinematics, it's, like, actual gameplay footage. Even if they chose the best of the best, it still shows something. It shows that exist. And 8 years is not something to scoff at for, like, a big AAA studio. That's some serious effort. Plus, hearing all of the people who worked on it that weren't Todd talking about it raises my confidence too. I mean, obviously they worked there, so they have to say it's good, but they're not Todd where they're trying to where they'll just lie to sell something. Because Todd Howard is not a trustworthy resource. Don't forget about the 16 times the detail. Don't forget about it. Todd Howard will consume all of our souls if given the chance, unfortunately. Because his real name is God Howard. The ultimate being, he and Grimace are, like, the ultimate, like, conquerors of the universe. You know, it'd be really funny. I mean, I know they've already gotten rid of the Grimace shake, but if McDonald's had just kept that permanently, it's just, like, a new addition to their menu. They just, like, got rid of the strawberry shake and just replaced it with, like, the Grimace shake. Oh, that would be so funny. I actually preserved the Grimace shake cup. I have it just in my room. I'm gonna put it up on my shelf permanently. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video here. Alright, and I finished the first red layer. I decided when I cut, I just go and finish it because the rest of the parts were really hard to see, so I didn't want to bother with the video on that. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be since it's an organic creature. It's already looking much better than it was when it was just white. You could actually probably play a game with this, but I want to get it. But now it's time for the second layer. So, we're going to go to the shell now with our Vampire Red. Shake it up for a moment. Right. Warhammer painting videos on my channel. Again, I'm not going to be too worried if I get any of this deeper red on the lighter red areas, since it doesn't really matter. It's an organic creature. Maybe there's a few scaly patches on its more red muscly parts. As you can see already, there's a decent contrast between the darker and lighter red. Darker red looks much more solid. I might have globbed on that red a little bit. I'll have to go back and thin that up. I guess the easiest way to do this would be to make some sort of stand that forces it to be in the camera. Maybe I'll try and figure something out for the next video. I just wanted to start painting some more Hammer on the channel to inspire me to paint more in my free time. Painting a lot more recently. I had like a 2000 Space Marine army for like 6 months. I like just not put any paint on for like 6 months, and I was like, I really want to get painting. I like painting, but I just don't know why I haven't been. And then in the summer I got started again, and now I have a full squad of Space Marines done, so that's good. Maybe like, what? Only a squad? You mean like 5 Space Marines? Like, yeah, it's just an Assault Intercessor squad, but I have a little bit of paint on everything now. I'm going to go back and do a batch painting on a whole bunch of them just to get like the first 4 layers done. My Space Marine color scheme is really complicated, so it takes like 2 to 5 hours per Marine. Alright, here we have the finished Termagant. I decided I'm going to do something different for the eyes, but first I'll just show you this. See, I got the bottom too. There's a few little like unfinished spots down there, but it doesn't matter since you're never going to be looking at those ever. I use speed paint for the teeth and bony parts. Vita Carnis, the mimics have these really like placky teeth, so I decided to carry that over here with all the bony parts. I actually changed the pale flesh to scarred flesh for a more pinky thing to mix in with the red so it wouldn't be more as distracting. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the eyes now. So, I have some green stuff in the drawer, and mimics have these really big, bulging eyes. It's part of what makes them so scary. So I'm going to add that to these. Okay, I'll get back when I've done that. Here's the before painting of the eyes. Okay, and I'll zoom back after I've painted. Alright, and here we are. I am very proud of these eyes. Let me make sure they come out good on the video. Here, let me get the focus right on my camera. Hold it back a little, there we go. Anyone who's seen Vita Carnis, I think, will also be happy with these eyes. These look so much like the Mimic's eyes, just the way they're very, like, not correct. Like, you see how they're not very round. They're kind of oblong, and the pupils are gigantic and also not like perfect. I think it captures the essence of like a mimic perfectly, and this is definitely something I'm going to add to the entire army. I'm definitely going to go sculpt on the green stuck eyes before I paint the rest, so expect to see that in future videos. So yeah, I think I did a very good job making a Vita Carnis Termagant. I'm going to do this theme for the rest of my army. As I said, they'll get darker and darker as they get more elite, like how the Carnis do. And I like how everything really came together on this model, and this is very quick. Like, this is probably only like an hour and like 10 minutes for like this Termagant here. And when batch painting, you can probably get like 50 minutes per Termagant. So that's really fast in comparison to my other models. So yeah, really excited to do more. I'm definitely going to do more videos painting Termagants. I might even do some Space Marine videos showing off my, I'll put aside the Space Marine for each tier and show them off. I'll show off when I get, like, entire units of things done, and, so stay tuned for more videos. I hope you like this Vita Carnis Termagant, and have fun next time.